For a while now, I've been thinking of starting a series by coming up with drink recipes inspired by shows, games, and stories that I really enjoy. So of course, the first thing that popped into my head was a Harry Potter based drink. With the new Fantastic Beasts movie coming up, I thought it would be pretty appropriate for a first episode. I was in the process of doing the research when one night I had Netflix on and the show popped up in the recommendeds. So in all honesty, I tried watching the show, but was only half paying attention and then promptly forgot it even existed. A few months down the line, the show again popped up on my radar, and for no incomprehensible reason other than I was bored, I clicked to watch it again. After a few hours of binge watching and some watery eyes, probably the dust in my room, I was kicking myself for not having finished it the first time around. I made up my mind to come up with a cocktail inspired by this show. So being how the character in the show is called Violet Evergarden, I wanted the main component of this drink to have the taste of violets and have either a violet or emerald green color in the end. I've never actually tasted anything with violets before, so after a bit of reading, I found this guy, basically a violet liqueur. The first time I tried it, it definitely reminded me of soap. I just had not tried any foods with that kind of smell, so brain associations and all. But the taste itself was quite sweet. Now my main goal was to accentuate the smell of flowers in the drink while also making it taste and look good in the process. First things first was to find what would go well with this type of liqueur. A previous test I did earlier with yellow chartreuse, and this actually made the drink an almost emerald green color, which was a nice surprise. Sadly, I couldn't replicate it very consistently, so I had to give up on that. Also, yellow chartreuse with its 130 herbs and plants tasted pretty good with it, but it definitely pushed the chartreuse flavor forward, and I lost a lot of the violet smell. Saint Germain, being as it's also flowery and even sweeter, just made the sweetness too much, almost syrupy. I could cut it down with some other ingredients, but starting off with sweet on sweet might be more of a challenge, especially since I wanted a lower ABV drink, so I'd have to cut down on the base spirit for that. Okay, next was the dry vermouth. And honestly, it tasted really good. The wine aromas of the vermouth melded really well, and I put this one down as a good possibility. After that, I tried a few different spirits for the base. I can see why the bottle of Violette recommends a couple classic cocktails like the Aviation that have gin as the base. The two really do match up well. The slight herbal notes of the gin balances out the floral Violette. After struggling to open the bottle of cachaça, I was also pretty surprised at how well that evened out the sweetness too. Kind of strange because the rum actually brought forward the sweetness more so than the cachaça did. After that, I just went rogue trying other pairings. Now it was time to try out full cocktail mixes and see how well the full thing actually mixed together. Admittedly, after a few not so great trials, I was getting fed up and my Japanese takeout had arrived, so I decided to call it a night. The next day, after thinking about it a bit more, I decided to buy a few different types of sparkling sodas and add that to the mix. One of the reasons was to lighten the flavor of the drink even more, since I wanted this to be an easy sipper, and two was to add a bit of a bubbly texture to the whole thing. So after everything was assembled, a few more tests, and I finally got to the point where I really enjoyed it, so I think I'll stick with it. So here it is, the final version. 3 dashes of lavender bitters. This will compound the smell of the flowers, plus balance out more of the sweetness from the other liqueurs. Half an ounce of creme de violette, half an ounce of dry vermouth, 1 ounce of gin, so it doesn't overpower the other soft flavors. I'm not trying to go for a boozy drink here. A sprig of thyme in the shaker to give it just a tad bit more herbal notes. Okay, and shake. And then coat the inside of the glass with Galliano to give it a slight kick of just black licorice and vanilla notes. We don't want to make it the main flavor though. And then just a splash of grapefruit soda. I used a lightly sweetened version of this soda so that it has more bitter and sour notes. And then for garnish, I used an orchid because I couldn't find any violets near me.
My name is Violet Evergarden.
Hey, thanks for watching. I still definitely have a Harry Potter drink coming up, so that should be on the way, but hopefully you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think. I'm still playing around with the format, so thanks again for watching. See ya.